Hi everyone, my name is Ilamis Gonzalez. I'm a senior here at the University of Florida, and I've been studying intercultural communications for the past semester, and specifically taking a look into the global refugee crisis that's affecting so many around the world. Today, I wanted to take a little time to talk about this crisis and how it's affecting millions. So, to begin with, over the past few years, over 70 million individuals have been forced to leave the places they call home because of deep divisions in government, economics, and religion. UNHCR is the United Nations Refugee Agency, and they've collected a lot of information about this, and specifically pertaining to refugees and involuntary migration. Countries like Syria, Congo, and Venezuela have some of the highest numbers of people of concern, and they surpassed the million number mark, which is crazy to think about. Mainstream media covers major situations like these that I just mentioned, but other emergencies and communities of high risk receive little to no coverage at all. And that's a shame because you and I should be aware of what's going on a global scale, not just what's going on in our backyard. So, to shed a little light on these other communities, let's talk about how the UNHCR reported that there's political unrest in the African country of Burundi, and that's been going on since 2015 because an unwanted president pushed for a longer term. Others are running from violence in Myanmar against the Muslim minorities, the Rohingya. These are just some of the suffering that's occurring around the globe, but we don't hear about it on a daily basis. I wanted to show you this short clip from the Church World Service to bring a closer attention to the seriousness of the issue. So let's take a look.
The reality of these numbers is staggering. Almost half are children below the age of 18. Children who have spent their entire childhood far away from the home they once knew. Children who have witnessed unthinkable acts of violence. Children who grew up to have children of their own in that same refugee camp, still far away from their home.
Now, we've just seen how harsh the conditions refugees are submitted to against their will, and the endless cycle it can create. One thing leads to another, which leads to another, which affects generations and generations before we even know it. But the cycle can be broken if we all work together. That means you and I have the power to make a change if we only act now. If we combine the power of other billions of individuals around the world, real change can blossom. So I want to show you one last clip before we end our conversation today.
Organizations from all over the world are looking to build networks of compassion and vitality where refugees can thrive and fulfill their dreams. The overwhelming need has never been greater, so let's respond like never before.
So you're probably thinking, how can I get involved? What can I do if I'm sitting in my bedroom or my office or my car listening to this? So, as Americans, we already enjoy so many different freedoms that refugees have never experienced in their entire lifelines. We live in a country with freedom of speech, without little fear of government control, and endless resources to fuel our own dreams. It's a land of endless possibilities, and these are things we take for granted. It's time we use these privileges to get involved. So, like I previously mentioned, the Church World Service, they're just one of the many organizations working to combat this global crisis. So, here's a look at this. We're all guilty of spending too much on our weekly coffee runs, but a few spare bucks could help a charity working with those displaced. For instance, the Islamic Relief USA uses their donations to work in disaster response and preparedness. Food security, orphan support, and other areas are just some of the projects they're working on, and it's an amazing way to get involved if you don't have the time or the physical ability to do so. Another way is that emergency may have broken out far away, oceans away, but those affected have moved into our neighborhoods. They go to school with our kids, and they shop at the same grocery stores we do. You just haven't realized it yet. So how can you help those closest to you? For instance, the rescue.org makes it easy for you to become a volunteer with the International Rescue Committee. All you have to do is search for volunteer opportunities in your community at the click of a button. Small acts that can add up and create a great impact on somebody's life. The internet is a fount of information. We all know that. That's why you're here today. That's why I'm here today. And it's more accessible than ever. Do your part in society and familiarize yourself with statistics and case studies. Just search up these conversations, search up these issues. Watch TED Talks like Melissa Fleming's Let's Help Refugees Thrive, Not Just Survive, to improve your own understanding. Develop your own awareness and think of new ways that you can get involved. Use this knowledge to help you start conversations with your peers and share your findings on social media. The little nuggets of knowledge you spread about the global refugee crisis could contribute to making relief a global effort. And it could be at little to no cost. It all just takes time. So I hope you've learned a little bit today about the global refugee crisis and how you can get involved to help refugees move forward. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.